let this be.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Let me raise my chair up. All right, that's better. That's better. I look more like me. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. Follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. And wherever you get your podcast, you can find your man, Captain Will. I am back and better than ever. Took a couple of days off for this Christmas break. Had family show up. It was a great holiday. I hope your holiday was as great as mine or better. Happy holidays to all Gamecock fans. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Hey, we play Wofford. We play Wofford in a few days. It's back to the normalcy of women's college basketball. It's back to get back into the grind of things because we're almost in conference play. My favorite time of the year. Conference play then turns into the conference tournament, then goes on to the NCAA tournament. Oh yeah, things about to turn up. Things about to turn up for the South Carolina women's basketball team. The three-time national champions. So in today's episode, we're going to compare South Carolina's offense last season, championship team, championship offense, to this season, which currently ranked, number 2 in the AP poll, number 2 in the net ranking. It is a wonderful time to be a women's college basketball fan. It's a wonderful time to be a college basketball fan. It is an amazing time to be a South Kakalaki women's basketball fan. Hey, shout out to my homeboy. Shout out to my homeboy who was in Myrtle Beach, met my brother. And it's kind of chilly in Myrtle Beach, but you know how it gets down. Folks are always gonna go to the beach. But shout out to my homeboy. His name is Robert Sanders. And appreciate you for watching. Jonathan McQueen, thank you, my brother, for all the Monster Energy stuff. Thank you. And happy holidays. Last season's offense was amazing. Last season's offense was, real talk, last season's offense was the best offense that we've ever had at the University of South Carolina. The best. And that goes back some ways, okay? Because we've had some superstars in the Colonial Life Arena. We've had the Aja Wilsons, the Elena Coates. We've had the Kiki Harrigans. We've had the Zaya Cooks. We've had the Tiffany Mitchells. We had all those great players. The Shannon Johnsons. We have so many players in South Carolina. We could just go on and go on and go and go on. But last year's team that replaced 5 starters had the best offense to date. We had an offensive rating of 3rd in the country. We scored 115 points per 100 possessions. That is terrific, efficient basketball. There were only a couple teams that were ahead of us, one of which was Iowa, who we beat in the championship. But South Carolina's offense was great. It was great. One of the key things in our offense last year was pace of play. Last season, our pace of play was the fastest on record in Dawn Staley's era, okay? We had a pace of play of 38th in the country, which ended up being 74 possessions per 40 minutes, okay? With the increased pace of play and the increased efficiency of our offense led to historic numbers. We were 4th in field goal percentage. Okay. We were 3rd in 3-point percentage. Really, real talk. We were 2nd, but it was tied for 2, so it put us 3rd at 40% from the field in terms of 3-point percentage. We were 10th in assist to turnover ratio, 1.42 to 1. Y'all know I love me some assist to turnover ratio. And if you have a high assist to turnover ratio, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a successful, if not phenomenal, basketball season. And we were 10th in the country. We were 13th in assists overall. We averaged 19 assists per basketball game. We were 18th in 2-point percentage. Now, if we look back on last season's, historic numbers, I mean, we had a lot of easy baskets because we had 6'7" Camila Cardoza, which increased the 2-point percentage. But we also had amazing mid-range and 3-point shooting from multiple players. We can go down the list with Powell. We can go with Tessa. We can go with Bree. We can go with Raven. We at MiLaysia. We had some great mid-range and 3-point shooting last season. Historic numbers. Now, what's different about this team and what's different about last year's team is a few things. Okay? A few things. First off, we are currently 220th in terms of pace of play. Okay? 220. Last season we was 38th. So last season we was averaging 74 possessions per game. Right now we averaging 71 per possessions per game. That might not seem like a lot to you. But over the course of a season, over the course of SEC play, that ends up being a lot of possessions. And when you think about when the games are closer, playing against really good quality teams, 3 possessions is a lot. That could be the difference maker of winning or losing. But we're playing at a slower pace over the course of 13 basketball games. What's also different with this basketball team compared to last year's basketball team, offensively speaking, is our guard play. Our guard play is the backbone of this team. Last season, year before that was the post play. It's not the strength of our basketball team in the 24-25 season. It's not. Our basketball team is built by Tahina Pow. It is built by Raven Johnson, Bree Hall. It is built by Tessa Johnson, MiLaysia Fulwiley. It is built by Maddy McDaniel. You have a lot of basketball teams out there who play 4 guards, 1 post, right? South Carolina plays 3 guards, 2 posts. That is a staple. That is a staple for the South Carolina women's basketball team. So at any point in time, the flexibility of our team is shown up for the forefront, right? So there's multiple times where you might have a Maddy and you might have a Fulwiley and you might have a Powell in the game at the same time, or a Tessa, or whatever combination that you might speak of. Or we might start a Feagin, and we might start a Chloe Kiss, and you might have a situation where you got Watkins and Joyce playing together. You might have Feagin and Joyce playing together, and so many different variations of plug and play players on this team. I think that's a little different than what it was last season. And I believe that the reason that I think it is a little different than last season is because Camila Cardoza played 26 minutes per game. Okay? So if she playing 26 minutes per game, that means some of these other players aren't getting the minutes that they necessarily would receive this season. Think about this right here. If Camila Cardozo was on this team right now, if she decided to come back this season, because there was a possibility that Camila Cardozo would came back to the South Carolina women's basketball team, how would this team look? Camila Cardozo would be getting 26, 27 minutes per game. Okay. Chloe Kitts would be getting minutes because she improved so much on this basketball team. So she'd be getting minutes. Watkins be getting minutes. That was much similar to what it was last season. But here's the thing. Joyce Edwards' versatility would have also demanded minutes. So her, when I say her, I'm talking about Camila Cardozo. Camila Cardozo's being drafted by the Chicago Sky was wonderful for Gamecock women's basketball. But it was also wonderful for the players on this current basketball team, because then you had the opportunity for Sania Feagin to blossom and grow into the person, into the basketball player that she is. She's having the best season of her career. She's playing the most minutes, she's getting the most points, she getting the most rebounds, she has the highest offensive rating, she has the lowest defensive rating of her career. You have Chloe Kitts who's averaging 8 rebounds, more points, more rebounds, highest offensive rating, lowest defensive rating of her career. South Carolina women's basketball breeds competition. It breeds, competitiveness. But it also breeds waiting and trusting the process to get to be the player that you recruited for. I think about all the amazing, terrific, superstar Alabama football teams with Nick Saban being the head coach. And I use that analogy because there was always competition, because everybody who comes in was always a 5-star, 4-star recruit going to Alabama, which would show why they were so great for so long. But there was a whole lot of times that you never really heard of a player until their junior or senior year, because they are playing behind other 5-star or 4-star recruits. And they play that 1 year, and they go to the league because they were outstanding and they waited their turn. And I understand that football is different than basketball. I understand that. I get it. Football, you got to get bigger, faster, stronger, and you're not going to play ahead of guys who are bigger, faster, and stronger than you. But isn't South Carolina the same thing? Isn't South Carolina the era that we in right now? South Carolina is basically the same format. A lot of teams aren't like that. The format is different. A lot of teams are microwavable. Freshman, insert freshman, top 10 in the country, in their respective class. Freshman gets 35 minutes. Oh, we got another freshman. That freshman get 35 minutes. Those freshmen are super duper, and they get all the NIL deals, they get all the TV exposure, all those great things. I saw a poll yesterday, and it was listing the top, I want to say the top 15 freshmen so far this season. And I'm looking like, oh, okay, so they got Joyce at number 9. Then I look at the players that were ahead of her in this so-called poll, right? It boggles my mind sometimes when I think about it, because the same poll had Joyce, number 1, number 2 in the country a few months ago. Now she's number 9 because she's not getting those minutes that Dutch players are getting, right? Same player. Where Joyce was the McDonald's All-American MVP. playing against the same players, and was a star among stars. She's now relegated to 9th or 10th in the freshman class. The same players that was on the back of Joyce Edwards at the Nike Summit game playing against the world, where Joyce pulled Team USA out of the doldrums to win that basketball game, and she was a star amongst stars on that team, is ranked 9th or 10th. The same player who played for Team USA during the summer and was voted as the MVP of the tournament of the world. With these same players on the team watching Joyce Edwards cook are ahead of her in this so-called poll. Y'all can miss me with all that mess. Y'all can miss me at all these so-called polls. Y'all can miss me in downgrading or degrading the play of a Joyce Edwards because she's only playing 20.1 minutes per basketball game. You can miss me with any of that mess. You have a basketball game. Joyce Edwards is going to be top 3 in this freshman class. The same poll had Jelani Cambridge, who was the best rated the best point guard, and I saw it with my own eyes. Jelani Cambridge right now is 8th, 9th in these polls. And anybody can do a poll. I can do a poll, but it just irritates me when you don't do your research. We made some changes in this offensive strategy for the South Carolina women's basketball team, because you go from a post-centric team to a more guard-centric team. Now, we had some early offensive struggles. Make no mistake about that. And those offensive struggles were highlighted by 2 of our seniors and 1 redshirt junior. And that's Raven, Bree, and Feagin. They were highlighted. We saw it. We saw it against Michigan. We saw it against North Carolina State. We've seen that. Breezy was the first one to come out of that shooting slump. Feagin was the next one. And then Raven, over the last 5-6 basketball games, have started to play like Raven Johnson. But in the struggles of this South Carolina women's basketball team early on, there was also an emergence of Chloe, and there was an emergence of Joyce. So while Raven and Bree and Feagin were trying to find their footing, Joyce and Chloe, especially Chloe early on, found hers and kept running. So, in taking into context, like last season, Raven Johnson shot 44% for the field. Currently, through the first third of the season, she was shooting 31% from the field. Okay, so last season, she shot 35% from 3. Currently, right now, she's shooting 28% from 3. Last season, she had averaged 5 assists per game. This season so far, she's averaging 3 assists per game. Last season, 2 steals. This season, 1 steals. I'm saying all these things because she started off not being Raven Johnson, not being Hollywood, not being crock pot herself, as my man Plies say. But over the last 5 games, she's shooting 44% from 3. Let's continue that thing on against Wofford on Sunday. And a player that we don't even talk about, I think, enough, who has been struggling since last season to this season. And I think it's more in terms of trying to fit in. I think it's more in terms of like in that middle. Like, okay, so you got a kid, trying to be right? You got a kid who's trying to figure it out. And so I'm in the middle. I'm like, I want to be good. I want to be bad. I'm just right here. I don't know what I want to do, right? So I think that's what MiLaysia Fulwiley. I think she's in the middle right now of being a pass first point guard and a scoring point guard and a shooting guard. I think it's all jumbled up together, and I think that's what we are getting from MiLaysia Fulwiley in terms of just trying to fit in. I don't want MiLaysia Fulwiley to fill in. I don't want her to fit in whatsoever. I want MiLaysia Fulwiley to play a la Allen Iverson, who's one of my favorite players of all time. I want to be that bucket getter. Now, I know Dawn is trying to make her into a more complete player. I understand that. That's Dawn's job, to make her into a superstar guard. But right now, you have MiLaysia Fulwiley. Last season, shot 44%. This season, she's shooting 41%. She shot 34% from three. Last season, she's shooting 24% from three. Last season, she shot 78% from the free throw line. This season, she's shooting 63% from the free throw line. She's down in her offensive rating, and she's down in her defensive rating. I need MiLaysia Fulwiley to be MiLaysia Fulwiley every single day, and especially on Sunday. The struggles of certain players gives other players the opportunity to succeed. The struggles early on for Raven Johnson or MiLaysia Fulwiley gave the opportunity for a Maddy McDaniel to step up and have the highest assist-to-turnover ratio in the country. This is the difference with South Carolina than any other team in the country. I've seen Paige Beckers struggle with UConn and they lose. I've seen Juju Watkins struggle and they lose. I've seen Hannah Hidalgo struggle and they lose. There's not one player on the South Carolina women's basketball team that struggles, and that particular player causes this team to lose. And the reason that is because Dawn Staley plays 10 players. And if a player is not balling, that thus player sits down and another player fills in. That is the definition of plug and play by the South Carolina women's basketball team. And that is the reason why we will be back-to-back champions. This includes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure that you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, there's none better. There's none better. You are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go.